Very rainy good evening to one and all present here, especially respected Usha Banu ma'am and the other coordinators and other dignitaries who are all present here in this webinar. I'm happy to have a number of students aiming for high degree posts in our country. We are happy to be a part of this wonderful webinar on opportunities for engineers in civil services examination or else in civil services in India. I'm for about 20 years I'm associated with the civil services examinations as a candidate, as an aspirant, and now as a trainer. I'm associated with the civil services examinations. So I'm happy to meet you all in this August gathering to address you all in the topic called opportunities for engineers in civil services. Let's move to the first slide, madam. Dear friends, you all know civil services examination is a just a examination, but it has high quality and highly reputed posts in India. I hope you all have the having on your screen 5 questions and 5 answers. 4 questions and 4 answers. Let me talk here one by one. Civil services examination or civil services, what it is. It is a prestige or power. Ladies and gentlemen who are here, you must know that civil service is a prestigious, powerful post in India. As a candidate, as a civil servant, you will enjoy serving the society, you will enjoy serving the nation. So, yes, civil services are the prestigious and powerful post in India. Are you all going to enjoy the power or the service? Nowadays, we are talking about the work-life balance. If you become an IAS officer or an civil servant, you will miss a so-called work-life balance, since you are going to enjoy the power. I repeat, you are going to enjoy the power to serve the people, to serve the nation. Thirdly, money. Will the civil service or the civil servants earn more money? Yes, there are n number of perks and facilities for the civil servants who are working in India. What are the perks and facilities? What do you mean by perks and facilities? A civil servant in India may gain n number of perks and facilities provided by the government. Money, salary, it doesn't matter for them because government will pay them handfully. So don't worry about that. A civil servant will earn, yes, money, perks, and facilities. Job security. Many of our friends and colleagues facing the job insecurity nowadays due to COVID-19. But this civil services, there is a regular growth in your service and there will be a regular growth in your salaries. Hence, dear friends, the best job, or rather, the best place, work, job title to serve in India to the people, to the nation is civil services. Let's see the next slide. What do you mean by civil services? Civil services is purely an administrative service. In India, we have a number of exams to face the civil services. Say, for an example, UPSC. UPSC is a Union Public Service Commission which conducts the so-called examination called civil services examination, and also there are some more. For example, Indian Economic Service and Indian Engineering Service All these surveys are conducted by UPSC. And in state level, we have TNPSC. In TNPSC, we used to have the sub-collectors, which is the exam which is conducted by the TNPSC is called Group 1 and Group 2 examination. In local level, in village level, they used to organize a competitive exam called Village Administrative Officer Exam, Group 4 level exam. So UPSC in central level, TNPSC in state level. Friends, and also you can become an administrative officer through RBI, Reserve Bank of India examinations, Staff Selection Commission examinations, and in banks, you can also be a administrative officer through probationary officer services in which is organized by IBBS. And also, you can also serve the nation in railway services and armed force services like Army, Navy, and Air Force. Dear friends, civil services is not only the service to serve our country or to our people. There are n number of services, but in this webinar, let's see the UPSC and the TNPSC exams particularly. Let's move to the next slide. What is CSE 2021? You all know that CSE is nothing but Civil Services Examination. 2021 is a year. Every year there are increase and decrease of the vacancies announced by the UPSC. UPSC at sometimes announces more than 1,000 vacancies. At times it announces below 1,000. Last year it was 750 in the year 2021. Hopefully 2022 will give more opportunities for the fresh candidates, those who are appearing for the civil services examinations. Every year in March, UPSC releases the notification for the civil services examinations, followed by the next month, they also announces the Indian Engineering Services notification. Generally, generally around 5 to 6 lakhs candidates are appearing for the civil services preliminary examination, and very less, that is only 13 times of the given vacancy candidates are appearing for the mains and interview examinations. Dear friends, as you all know, the online application link is www.upsconline.nic.in. I hope you all noted it, or you can remember, or you can Google it. You can find the link for the UPSC. If you're serious enough to face the upcoming civil services examination, kindly go to this website and check out the notification, what all the details are given, and what and how to approach the exam. It will be easy for you to understand with your eyes, reading and understanding. That will be better once you have to visit the UPSC website. As soon as the notification published, you have to apply earlier, because the exam centers are first apply, first allot basis. If you choose Chennai as your option, Chennai is very limited seat. N number of students are applying for Chennai center. If you bound to choose Chennai, means you have to apply early to get admit, first apply, first slot basis. Generally, the preliminary examination, the UPSC Civil Services Preliminary Examination notification used to published in the month of March every year. And the exam will held in the 3rd or 2nd week of June every year. So you have to fix your calendar. You have to fix your mind to face the exam in every June. You have to prepare for the examination every year every month and every week and every day, because preparation is very important, and simultaneously revision is also very important. The preparation of civil services examinations will take about 1 to 1.5 years to take up an exam. The preparation is very important, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see the next slide. Age limit and attempt limit. Is there any age limit? Yes. Is there any attempt limit? Yes, there are. Let's see. The minimum age to appear for the civil services examination is 21 years. If you are completed 21 years, you can apply for the civil services examination. Age is counted on every 1st August of every year. I repeat, your age to appear for the civil services examination is counted on every year 1st August basis. And for the 2021 attempt, you must not be born later than 1st August 2000. That is very important. And generally, UPSC notification says that though if you are cleared the UPSC examination also, you can take up the exam again for the better post called IAS and IFS. Only, I repeat, only those who secured IAS and IFS ranking, they will not allow to take up the exams again. But lesser posting like IPS, IRS, IASES, like that, you can appear for the IAS examinations again. So that's for your information. If you applied in the previous exam but remain absent in both prelim papers, then your attempt is not counted. This is for those who are encountering the limits in the attempts. Yes, I repeat, yes, there is a limit in attempts. You can apply for the exams a day before. If you think that you are not ready to take up the upcoming exam, it is better to not to take up the exam. Say for an example, some students, there are 2 papers in the prelims, paper 1 and paper 2. If you are taking paper 1 and you feel that your answers and your presentation in the examination was not good, if you are skipping paper 2, if you are not taking up the paper 2 exam, means your attempt is counted. If you are not taking up both the exams, paper 1 and paper 2, means your attempt is not counted. So this way you have to be very careful to take up or not to take up the exam. And also I have added a last point that if you fail in prelims, your attempt is counted. Fine. Some may think that only the pass in the prelims will be counted as an attempt. No, if you are taking up an exam, whether it is a paper 1 or else the paper 2, your attempt is counted. If you clear the prelims, if you are not cleared the prelims, it doesn't matter, the attempt will be counted. Next slide.
One minute.
Yeah, here comes the age and attempt limit. Attempt limit. Ladies and gentlemen, from 21 years to 32 years is the age limit for everyone. Commonly, generally, from 21 to 32 is the age limit. But there are some social advantages for some of the candidates. Like for general, it is 32 years. In that 32 years, they can take up only 6 attempts. I repeat, from 21 to 32, general people can take up only 6 attempts. They are not allowed to take up the total 12 attempts. That means 21 to 32. They are allowed to take up only 6 attempts between 21 years to 32 years. For OBC, there is a relaxation of 3 years. I repeat, for OBC, there is a relaxation of 3 years. That means up to 35 years, they can give attempts for 9 times. I repeat, there are 15 years gap from 21 to 35. They can give attempts only for 9 times. Hope you all understand. Next, for SC and ST candidates, there is a relaxation of 5 years. That means from 32 years to 5 exemptions. That means 37. So from 21 to 37, they can take up the exam with no upper age attempt limit. And also for physically disabled, blind, deaf and deaf, and orthopedic physically disabled people can take up the exam 32 plus 10 years. That is up to their 42 years age limit. They can take up the exam. So for them also, there is a category. If the general, then 9 attempts. For OBC, 9 attempts. For SC/ST, it's going to be the upper attempt limit. Hope you all understand. If you have any doubts, let's see in the last. Fine. Let's move to the next slide. This is the important concept that is called the structure of the exam. Ladies and gentlemen, the structure of the exam is in 2 patterns. Let's see the Civil Services Preliminary Examination 2021, Paper 1 and Paper 2. The Civil Services Preliminary Examinations will be conducted in a single day, in a single slot. I repeat, in a single day, in a single slot. You will face 2 papers, Paper 1 and Paper 2. Both the papers are known as General Studies paper. That means General Studies 1, General Studies 2. But there are some techniques in both the papers. Let's see the paper 2 first. I repeat, let us see the paper 2 first. Paper 2, General Studies 2. In paper 2, General Studies 2, you need to get only 33% of passing marks. I repeat, you need to get only 33% of passing marks. That means this is simply a qualified nature paper. There will be 200 marks question. I repeat, there will be 200 marks question. For each question, there will be 0.33 marks. That means the required passing marks will be 66 marks only. And ladies and gentlemen, this marks will not be counted for your mains and your ranking calculation. The paper 2 is carries for 200 marks. And you must all know that it is going to be a negative marking system. I repeat, it is going to be a negative marking system. So if you miss one answer, if you write one thing as a wrong, one question as a wrong, you will miss 0.33 mark for a question. And the paper generally prepared in English and Hindi. I repeat, the paper generally fixed in English and Hindi only. And let's see the paper 1 now. Paper 1 is also like a qualifying nature only. Marks will not be counted for your mains as your mains marks. And it is also for 200 marks. Totally, both paper 1 and paper 2 will be treated as a same paper. Total marks going to be a 400 marks. Total marks for the thing is going to be a 400 marks. And paper 1 also, there is a negative marking system. The negative marking will be 0.33. This paper 1 will also set in Hindi and English only. Hope you all understand this slide. Let's move to the next slide, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, I can understand that you may have questions. Let's discuss the questions in the end of the discussion. Ma'am, is that okay, ma'am? Shall we have the question answer in the last?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We can have at the last. They will, if they have query, they can post in the chat box. Then
Okay,
I can
ma'am.
ask you, sir. No problem.
Okay, ma'am. Fine, ma'am. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about the civil services preliminary examinations. I mean, civil services mains examinations, which includes two parts. One is mains, and the other one is interview. I repeat, civil services mains examination consists of two parts. One is mains, and the other one is interview. Please try to concentrate and try to understand what I'm going to say now. Mains, there are 9 papers to be answered. I repeat, in mains examination, in mains written examination, there are 9 papers to be answered. Let us see one by one. The paper A. I repeat, paper A, which consists of 300 marks, but the marks will not be counted in your grade. In your final result. I repeat, paper A is going to be 300 marks paper, which will not be considered for your grade, considered for your final marks. It is a qualifying nature, and you need to get a minimum pass mark of 25%. I repeat, you need to get 25% of marks. 25% of marks of 300. So what is the paper A? Paper A is nothing but Indian language paper. As a Tamil, you can select a Tamil paper. As a Marathi people, you can choose a Marathi paper. Whatever. The languages which are listed in the Indian Constitution, Schedule 8, all those papers can be taken up in paper A. You can select any one of the paper from the Schedule 8 of the Indian Constitution. Say for an example, Hindi, Gujarati, Marathi, etc. And also in paper 2, I repeat, paper B. It is also consists of 300 marks, which is also not counted for your final merit marks. But you need to qualify, you need to clear the paper with 25% of passing marks. That is, paper B is a English paper. So paper A will be a Indian language paper. You have to choose any one of the Indian language, which includes Tamil, Hindi, and paper B is English paper. You have to take up the paper compulsorily. Hope you all understand what is paper A and paper B. Now we are going to talk about the another 7 papers which are counted for merit. I repeat, the other papers which are counted for merit are totally 7. Paper 1, first paper. Let us see what it is. Paper 1 is essay paper. In English, you have to write. That is called an essay paper. Essay paper which will consist of 250 marks, which is compulsory paper. And in paper 2, it will be called as General Studies paper 1, which is also consists of 250 marks. And paper 3, which is also known as General Studies paper 2, which consists of 250 marks again. Paper 4, which is also known as General Studies 3, which is also gives you the 250 marks. Paper 5, General Studies Paper 4, consisting of 250 marks. Ladies and gentlemen, you must all understand that paper 2, paper 3, paper 4, paper 5, all are general studies paper. That means in general studies paper 1, you will be having Indian history, current affairs, geography, and in general studies paper 2, you will be having Indian economy, Indian polity, Indian national movement, like that. So there will be a distribution of general studies papers in paper 1, 2, 3, and general studies 4. These 4 papers will consist of total number of 1000 marks, 250 each into 4 papers, which is going to be your 1000 marks. And after that, there will be one optional subject paper, which will consist of 2 part, that is paper 1 and paper 2. I repeat, you have to choose one optional subject paper. I repeat, you have to choose one optional subject paper. That one optional subject paper will consist of 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. Each paper will carry 250 marks. That sums up with 500 marks. So 250 into 2 going to be 500 marks. After that, after writing all the written examination, you will be having written oral, interview oral test, that is going to be 275 marks. So total written marks going to be 1750 marks. Interview is going to be 275 marks. The grand total is going to be 2025 marks. Hence, dear students, you are going to take up the civil services mains written examination, which is counted for merit. The total marks is going to be 2025 marks. Hope I explained it very clearly. Let's move to the next slide. Yeah, you are all regular students and engineering students. There may be a question that can last semester students apply? Yes, the minimum education standard is graduation. Whether it is BE, MBBS, BA, BSc, or BCom, the last semester students also can apply for the exam. Once, if you are applying, if you are in last semester, if you are applying for the examination, once you clear the prelims, you will have to fill up a new form called detailed application form to appear for the mains examination. That time you have to be clear with your graduation, with your degree. So you have to clear your papers before taking up the mains examination. Next slide. How much is the fees for general male and OBC male? It's going to be 100 rupees for prelims and 200 rupees for mains. And for all the category female students, there is no fees for both prelims and mains. Hence, it is important to mention here, UPSC encourages women candidates to take up the UPSC examinations, whether it is civil services examinations or Indian engineering services examinations or Indian economic services examination. For mains as well. Let's move to the next slide. And I would like to spend some time on engineering service also. Indian engineering services constitute of engineers that works under the government of India to manage the large segment of public sector economy, which constitute of railroads, public works, powers, and telecommunication. Hence, the Indian engineering service is also organized and the exams are conducted by UPSC. Next. It is a combined competitive examination conducted by UPSC only for engineers. There will be a written examination followed by interview and the personality test. Next. The engineering examination process consists of 4 stages. In paper 1, there will be a objective type questions, general ability test, which test your general English and your general studies. In paper 2 and paper 3, it is also an objective type question that is basically your subject based examination. If you're a telecom engineer or if you're a ME or B engineers, the paper 2 and 3 will test your subject knowledge. And paper 4 and 5 is going to be a conventional type examination that will also test your general subject level knowledge. And finally, there will be a interview test your personality. Next slide. The recruitment on categories for the civil engineering services. The category 1 consists of Indian Railway Services for engineers, Indian Railway Stores Service, Central Engineering Service, Military Engineer Service, Central Water Engineering Service, Assistant Executive Engineer Service, Survey of Indian Service. These are all the, for your example, engineers also in UPSC. So try to hunt UPSC Civil Services Examination and also simultaneously the engineering services also. Next slide, please. In category 1 mechanical engineering, there are 10 services. Likewise, I said in the category 1, railway service, railway stores, water engineering service, Indian Ordnance Factory Service, Indian Naval Ornament Service, Assistant Engineering in Ministry of Defense, Assistant Naval Service, Electrical and Mechanical Engineering Services, Executive Engineering Services, and Mechanical Engineering Services in Geographical Survey of India. So there are n number of openings for the engineers in UPSC also. Next slide. Electrical engineering, the same kind of services are available for the electrical engineers also. For example, railway electrical engineers, railway store services, electrical mechanical engineering services, naval ornament services, military engineer services, executive engineer services. These are all to state for an example, for some example. Next slide, madam. For electronics and telecommunication engineers, the same category of services are also available. They can also take up the exam. Hence, let's move to the next slide. How to study? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you have to dream big, mind your age and your qualification, and go for this examination. It is the main thing is you must know all the basics of IAS exam, and you have to select and you have to read the right books, right newspaper, and right magazine. What are all the right books and right newspapers and right magazines? Ladies and gentlemen, try to read the newspapers daily, whatever, the Hindu or the Indian Express, and go for the right textbooks which are prescribed by the UPSC on the syllabus section. As soon as the syllabus over, there will be a prescribed books section. So go for that prescribed books and be clear with your basics of your subject and also in general studies and general knowledge. Prepare a schedule for about 1.5 years and follow it strictly. Test your preparation every week, not by every month or quarterly. Work smart, don't push yourself hard because UPSC test your smartness, not your hardness. Remember that. Let's move to the next slide. Try to have the single task. Say for an example, most of the engineers தெரிஞ்சவனுக்கு
Prakash sir, your voice is breaking.
I'll tell you in
Please check
English.
now.
If you now it's okay, ma'am.
இப்போ ஓகேவா இருக்குங்க சார், பேசுங்க, அப்பதான் தெரியும்.
ஓகே மேம். எங்க மழை பெஞ்சிட்டு இருக்கு மேம் பயங்கரமா. ஸோ ப்ராபப்ளி அதெல்லாம் டிஸ்டர்ப் ஆகும்
அதான்
நினைக்கிறேன்.
நானுமே யோசிச்சேன் சாயந்தரம்.
ஓகே மேம், ஓகே. பயங்கர மழை பெய்யுது மேம். Okay, fine. Ladies and gentlemen, if you learn to swim in the seas, it will be easy to swim in rivers and ponds and lakes. Is that so? No. You must learn to swim separately in seas and in rivers and in lakes and lakes. So you have to prepare for civil services examination separately and for banks examination separately. Don't mingle each and every one. And don't adopt just in-time approach, because you have to revise and revise and revise your subject and the textbook. Test yourself constantly and continuously. Make notes like micro notes. That will be helpful for your preparation in future also. Let's move to the next slide. Dream IAS. You must all know that IAS is the mother of all the exams. Studying 20 hours every day and for 365 days, it won't bear the fruits. You have to prepare smartly. You have to study a minimum of 10 to 15 hours daily. That will give you a sense of proper preparation and improve your English and vocabulary. If you are poor in English, that's not a matter. Continue your preparation. Many think that you cannot go to the Delhi and prepare for the examination. No, Delhi is not the right place. You can sit at your hometown and you can prepare for the exams. So don't worry about that going off Delhi and all. You can study from the home. Luck. Don't believe in your luck. Believe in yourself. Believe in your ability. So don't go beyond behind luck and all. Don't wait for the last attempt. Try to clear the exams in your first attempt also. Next slide, ma'am. And there are lakhs of aspirants to appear for the examination, but very few enter into the IAS. So don't think that the IAS and UPSC are full of corruption and the recruiting process is very strict. No, it is not at all. Prepare smartly, work smartly, take notes, revise whenever you have time. So you will get into the services. Don't worry about that. And also don't buy too much of magazines to read and to keep it as your study material. Don't buy much magazines. Next. Next. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to conclude in a lighter way, but I don't want to read that slide, the last slide. Yes, if you have a big dream, you have to work smart, work hard, and you have to aim for the better career. So here, I would just like to wish you all for your successful career in the future with a very all the best. You have to prepare well. You have to spend your time on your studies. Since many of our present generation students getting demotivated or killing themselves if they are not ready to achieve what they dream. In a lighter vein, I just want to conclude with a simple word that teaching profession is a job, VAO officer is a job, an engineer is also a job, and finally, IAS is also just another job. Hope you all understand. And I would like to thank all the organizers once again for this wonderful opportunity. I'm waiting for your questions. Over to you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir.
Ah, yes, sir.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, students, if you have any queries, you can ask, sir. Or you can post in the chat box.
Sir, already student has posted in the chat box.
Okay,
Shall I
ma'am.
read it, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
One student has asked, is it mandatory to join a coaching center to clear the exam? Jnana Nisha has asked, sir.
Nisha, good evening, Nisha. Good question, Nisha, but I have two answers for you. One, you can prepare on your own. Go for NCRT books. I repeat, go for NCRT books from 6th standard to 10th standard, and also selectively some books from 11th and 12th standard of NCRT board. Prepare yourself. Prepare on your own. Read the newspaper. Read the daily newspaper, English, the Hindu or the Indian Express, and buy a yearbook like Manorama yearbook. Sit at home and you can prepare on your own. Second answer. The problem is many of us, including myself, my background is arts, but I'm weak in sciences. So I decided to go for coaching for sciences. My parents told me that why only sciences, go for general coaching. Why don't you go for the a coaching center to prepare for the IAS exams? So here I'm giving you two options. One, you can prepare on your own, but to guide, but to show the line, but to show the limitations of preparation, it is better. Just a suggestion. It is better to join a coaching center who charges minimum. Hope you understand, Nisha. Thank you.
Sir, good evening, sir. I
Good
have
evening.
one doubt clarification with your answer, sir. Like many of the people have seen who are preparing for the all these UPSC exams gave me a suggestion that like you should go and join to an renowned institution or some famous popular coaching center to get into the position, and you should spend at least 18 hours to sit and study. And do you think all these works or I don't know.
Shall I answer? Yes,
Ah,
thank you,
yes.
Nisha. Nisha, actually speaking, reading a minimum of 8 years to 12 to 13 years is enough. Fine. I repeat, reading 8 to 12 to 13 hours is enough for a preparation. But the problem here is we are reading n number of subjects, like about 12 to 15 subjects. Many of the aspirants are spending only on reading, hence it takes them from 13 hours to 18 hours. That's all. It is based on your preparation, based on your understanding, based on your time, how you are spending on preparation. So here I'm saying that a constant understanding preparation is enough to read from 8 to 13 hours. The problem is some and many of the students are reading the newspaper itself for 4 hours. I repeat, many of the aspirants are reading the Hindu newspaper for 4 hours. So that's what I'm trying to say. Smart reading is good for the preparation. And joining in an institution, generally joining in institution is good. They will show you in what way you have to work. That's all. It is better to join a short-term courses or a period of 8 to 1 year courses, not like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years and all. There is no need to invest much money on that coaching part. Hope you understand.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes, sir, I
Well,
understand.
yeah,
Thank you.
welcome, welcome.
Sir, one more question is there.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
evening, sir. How much does a coaching class normally cost, and which is the best coaching class, sir? Sharmila has asked.
Shamila, good question, but I'm not able to answer. Shamila, actually speaking, in Tamil Nadu, we have Anna Institute of Management in Anna Nagar. You can join there. It's a government-aided institution. They will not charge you. They will sponsor you up to if you clear prelims, mains, and interview. They will sponsor you up to your prelims. So you can join there. It's a government-run institution. If you ask for the private institutions, I'm not ready to answer here in this forum. But still, many chooses subject-based centers. If you choose public administration, you can go to Hyderabad. If you choose economics, you can go to Delhi, New Delhi. If you choose psychology, philosophy, you can go to Rajasthan. If you choose geography, you can go to Madhya Pradesh. There are best institutions subject wise. For general studies, it is best to land in Chennai and New Delhi. There are n number of institutions in Chennai which provides best coaching. So I don't want to mention the institution's name here in this forum. I'll suggest some of the institutions to Madam. You can ask them later. Thank you, Shamila. Hope you got the answer.
Sir, one more question. How
Yes,
to
ma'am.
prepare IAS exam, sir?
Gentlemen, I hope the whole session is on IAS. The preparation part I skipped because I just wanted to concentrate on the scheme of the exams. Preparation. If you are from state board or if you are from central board, please buy the NCERT books. I repeat, NCERT books. In Chennai, you can buy it from Ananagar and Mylapore. There are only two centers who sells the NCERT books in the market. So from 6th standard to 10th standard, all the books are compulsory. You have to read, you have to write, and you have to revise those books again and again and again. And for some subjects like Indian polity, constitution, history, geography, for some subjects, you have to buy NCERT 11th and 12th subjects, 12th standard books also. And read your any one of the English newspaper regularly, whether it is the Hindu or the Indian Express. If you are from the north, go for Hindustan Times. And buy a single magazine like Wizard, Chronicles, Civil Services Chronicles, monthly. That will give you a nutshell of the current affairs. And in yearly basis, you can go for India Yearbook, which is published by the government of India, or you can buy the Manorama Yearbook, which is published in the December and January every year. So that will give you the current affairs and the taste of the general knowledge and general studies. You have to take notes of the newspapers every day. You have to take, you have to prepare, you have to read, you have to revise the same books again and again and again for your basics. There will be a n number of question in your mains examinations. So this is how you have to prepare. On the other side, for the subject, you have to choose one subject paper. You can choose a subject of your own major. Major means the subject you have studied in your bachelor's exams, bachelor degree, right? Revision and understanding is very important. Hope you understand. Thank you.
Sir, another question. Is
Yes, ma'am.
TNPSC and bank exams have attempt restrictions like UPSC? Mr. Vignesh has asked.
Vignesh, for TNPSC, yes, there is an attempt regulations for the Group 1 and Group 2, but there is no other attempt regulation in TNPSC. You can take up the and you have asked for the banks also, right? Yes, there is limitations for in banks exam also, but for some cadre there is no limit. And to conclude, I generally say that it is very best to enter into a job, into a profession, into an administrative service in your younger ages. That is before 28. So that's my kind advice. Though you have the attempts up to 35 years, and for some up to 40 years, the government is on the word called catch them young. I repeat, the government is very keen on catch them young. So you have to clear your exams when you are young. Thank you, Vignesh.
Sir, one more question.
Yes.
Sir, which book will you suggest for general aptitude?
Aptitude, gentlemen, the aptitude word generally goes for the bank's exams. But here in UPSC, they say that numerical test, which includes the aptitude also. The basic book for the aptitude is Agarwal's book. You can go for Agarwal books on aptitudes. Generally, UPSC is conducting the aptitude exam not be counted for your merit mark. So very basic. You have to have an idea of your degree standard or plus two standard only. So don't how to say, don't study hard, but study smartly to clear the aptitudes. Go for past 10 years question papers, revise it, have a look at it. You will be having an idea how to face the aptitude questions in exams. Thank you, Vignesh. Hope you understand.
Sir, another question. Is it
Yes.
mandatory to read every topics from class 6 to 10?
Yes. You have to be very strong. Whatever the book you read, uh, uh, from 6 to 10 standard books. Next question, ma'am.
So 1 minute.
Ma'am.
1 minute.
No problem.
One more doubt. IAS or IPS, which is best, sir?
See, it's a common exam. They'll be treated equally. IAS, IPS, IFS, whoever they are, they'll be treated equally as an equal cadre. But the IAS is tops all the services because the way they get trained and the way they are administering a local body or a district. Hence, they are differ from all the other services. Based on your question, which is best? The best is aiming IAS. Next question, ma'am.
Sir? Yes, sir. Sir, one question. Sir, while starting the webinar, you said IAS isn't service, but while concluding, you said it's just a job. Why is that, sir? Name is
That's what
not there.
Yes. IAS is a service, and I concluded with it's just a job. Ladies and gentlemen, you must understand my words that nowadays the young kids are very low in accepting failures. I repeat, the 2000 kids are the kids of today are very low in accepting failures. There are n number of death suicides because they are fail in NEET exams. They fail in the competitive exams. So that's what I don't want to show that slide also. Treat that just a job. Don't take much pressure. Don't take much pressure on taking up the competitive exams. Don't feel the pressure. Don't commit suicide because IAS is a service. But for you as an individual, it is just a job. You're going to serve the people. That's all. I just want to conclude. I just want to convince those who are low in understanding, those who are low in facing the failures, that see, IAS is also just a job. You can do another job also. Don't commit any mistake towards, because of your result. That's what I try to say in that last slide. That is, IAS also is just a job. Hope you understand, gentlemen.
Any more queries from participants? Any more queries?
Sir, I have a doubt, sir. Sir, I already have prepared for IES examination. I have a final year student in civil department.
Okay.
Most of the people are told to me group study is the best pair, I think so. But I have read lonely. How to read lonely to smart read, sir?
Okay, ma. So actually, smart reading, personal reading, and group study or group reading are different. You have to have a general basic understanding of the subjects first. For that, you have to read alone. You have to understand alone. You have to grab things alone. Then only you can go for the discussion to ask a question, to get clarify the doubts, right? To clarify the other doubts. For that, you have to understand the basics and the concepts clarity clearly yourself first. So first you have to study alone. You have to study your notes. You have to understand your thoughts first. You have to understand your readings first. Then only you can go for the group discussion. Yes, and towards the end of the preparation, group study and group discussion is very important to get clarify your doubts. And many of my friends wasted their timing on group discussions. Group means must be less than 3 numbers. If it beyond 3, you will talk about the other things only, not on the subjects. To have a faithful, clear-cut friend who is also preparing for the exams, you can have him as a group member. Otherwise, if you go beyond 3 numbers means you will chat there only, you will not study, or you will not discuss the subject matters there. So I conclude, first understand, study personally. If you are clear with the concepts, go for the discussion with your doubts. Right? Thank
Okay,
you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
for...
gentlemen. Yes. Hope you understand.
Yes, sir. I'm keep it in mind, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Any other queries from participants?
Ma'am, I have a doubt, ma'am.
Yes, ma, you can ask.
Sir, like we will be competing with the students who also appeared like 2 or 3 more times before us,
Yes, yes,
right?
yes,
Is there
yes.
any preference for the students who have all like who have appeared before us, or we will be in the same position?
Yes, you are all be treated as zero, same position. Why I used the word called zero? If you clear the prelims, you will be moving on mains written examination. If you clear the mains written examination only, you will be moved for the interview. Okay, you move to the interview, but you failed in interview. You are not able to clear the interview means next year you have to start from the scratch. Next year you have to start writing the preliminary examination with the all the other new, old, fresh aspirants. You getting my point? So
Yes, sir.
for each and every attempts, everyone is starting from zero. Everyone is equal. Whether you have given 2 times prelims, 3 times mains, 5 times interview, no, it doesn't matter. For each and every attempts, everyone is afresh. But the difference is the knowledge, the experience that they have gained giving the exams previously. You're getting my point, Ma?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions from participants? So if there are no questions, can we wind up? And I request Dr. M. Sendil Kumar sir to propose vote of thanks for this webinar. Yeah, yes, pa, if you have doubt, you can ask.
Ma'am, what kind of question will be asked in UPSC exam, ma'am?
Please
Brother,
Yes, sir.
in subject papers, subjects paper 1 and 2, there will be pure subject questions, right? Understand?
Okay, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Pure subject questions in optional subject papers. But in general studies, you and I, even the preparation, the senior person who are preparing for the exam, no one knows what will be asked. Everything under the sky will be asked, right? But the basics you can find from the NCERT books from 6 to 10. They will say for a general science paper, they will say day-to-day subjects of science, day-to-day activities of science. That is the syllabus. What will be the conclusion? I repeat, for general science paper, the syllabus is day-to-day science. What will be the questions? It is all general questions, general life-oriented questions. Whatever the activities we are doing and whatever the basics we know will be asked in preliminary examination. But in the concept of mains, it's totally different. There will be subject-based questions more or less. Okay? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any more questions from participants? Sir, if there are no questions, can we wind up this session, sir?
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
May I request Dr. M. Sendil Kumar sir to propose vote of thanks for this webinar?
Good evening, everyone. I don't want to take much more time. I just propose out of thanks in a short way. On behalf of Student Affairs Cell of SRM BEC, first of all, I thank Dr. V. Prakash, coordinator of Jeevan Jyoti IAS Academy, Chennai, for accepting our invitation and spend more valuable time with our students and gave a good insights about the career of guidance and opportunity civil service. And he clearly answers each and every question asked by our students. Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to thank my fellow. Thank you, sir. I would like to thank my fellow colleague, Dr. N. Usha Banu ma'am, for organizing such a wonderful event. I thank each and every participant, both staffs and students. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Students who are all can switch on your video, please. Yeah, thank you, students. I thank all the coordinators for arranging this wonderful webinar for our students. Sir, Prakash sir.